Alright, let's get her.
The hive ship we have been tracking is still on course for Atlantis. We expect its arrival shortly.
Activate the cloak.
Alright, cloaked up.
Cloak is engaged.
All railgun positions are manned and operational, and Dr. Beckett is in the drone control chair.
Patch me through to him.
Elizabeth?
How are you doing?
Oh, just peachy, thanks. You?
I'm sorry to put you in this position.
Coming in hot, let's get it.
Hive ship just dropped out of hyperspace.
Shepard, come in.
John?
You made it?
Right, food, water, and we haven't slept in days, man. So now would not be a good time to fire on us. After all, one damage your hive ship. We're clear.
Misbegotten.
Sorry to stick up on you like that, Doc. Subspace communications are down.
I came this close to blasting you out of the sky. How many are there?
Well, the ship didn't have a full complement to begin with, but still, there are a few. Official count is just under 200. A lot of them were killed in the battle. A lot more of them killed each other when the gas started changing them.
Gonna eat them up.
I'm not here to lecture you on the moral complexities of your situation. Ultimately, the IOA has no official position on the matter one way or the other. The lives of 200 former Wraith are not high up on their list of priorities. But the way you dealt with the recent crisis, and there's still the issue of whether the intelligence that allowed these hives to get as far as they did was passed to any other Wraith colonies. Pegasus is so far away, they never thought the Wraith would be a threat to anyone outside the members of the expedition itself. Nothing renews your appreciation for the military like the threat of invasion from life-sucking aliens.
It do be like that. Mikey boy.
You still place me under guard.
You have betrayed our trust in the past.
Trust? I can't say I'm surprised. I wasn't welcome among my own kind. Why should I be welcome here?
What are you talking about?
I may appear as a Wraith again on the outside, but as far as they're concerned, I'm...
What do you want?
I can't stay here, and I can't return to the Wraith.
But we can never release you, not with the information you possess.
Then kill me now!
Right, that's the option.
There is another way.
Take the treatment again.
Your life as a human could be long and full.
And if I remember nothing of what or who I am, what is the difference between that and death? And if I do remember and revert back to my true nature?
It's just more problems.
The treatments are more effective now, and eventually he may find a permanent solution.
If you really believe that,
Ooh, the soundtrack's going on.
those Wraith you transformed wouldn't be
Could have been
in
humans.
stasis on the ship. They'd be here.
They're trying to have it both ways. It doesn't work like that, man.
The IOA has decided that, for the time being, you should continue to head the Atlantis expedition.
I guess this means that international mistrust of the U.S. military is far more powerful than their fear of life-sucking aliens.
In order to avoid a deadlock, they decided on a temporary reinstatement pending a detailed report on the situation.
Written by?
Me. I'll be going back to Atlantis with you. I understand that Stargate Command has put in a request to the Asgard for transportation.
I know they don't have a lot of ships to spare right now.
I've never met an Asgard.
You, I think, will love them. They got a great sense of humor.
Figure out how to fly this thing yet?
Oh yeah, fly, shimmy, spin like a top. You didn't think it'd be hard, did you?
It just proves my confidence in you wasn't misplaced.
The more sophisticated systems like navigation respond to Wraith neural interface in much the same way that the puddle jumpers can only be controlled by people with the ATA genes.
So then you get Michael to be one of the team and have him lead this ship.
What about
And we convert it to
Taylor's
being
got
a
the
war
Wraith gene thing.
vessel.
Maybe she can...
At least half of the ship's power generating capacity is gone. So even if I had access to spare parts, which I don't, I doubt I could fix it.
Meaning what?
Meaning the 200 prisoners we've got in stasis, we can't keep them in there forever.
Are you my executioner?
I wish.
I'm just glad he's not going to remember this.
I have a feeling he actually will remember this.
All right. This is weird.
What? Just a bunch of guys. I know what they really are.
Oh my god, this reminds me of that episode of Stargate SG-1 where they're just with that population of like what was it? They're like how to describe them? Like primitive white pigmented people. Remember that episode?
My name is Lathan. At least
they're all like chalk white, and all they're wearing white.
Many of us have questions, Colonel.
Sorry, this is a medical situation, and he has medical reasons. You people are under quarantine. How's it coming?
I'm gonna need more time.
Better off conducting this research back on Atlantis.
And what? But they're not ready yet.
You're supposed to teach them to administer the drug themselves.
I have trained several to act as my assistants. Colonel, there's more here to what I'm doing than just sticking needles in their arms. For one, I had to make sure there's no signs of reversion.
Have any of them started to remember?
I don't think so. The drug seems to keep them stable as long as they get a daily dose. Are you telling me if I can't come up with a permanent solution, that eventually we'll have to abandon them?
Eventually.
Then what?
They'll turn back into the Wraith.
Like it or not, for the moment, they are human. And they're my responsibility. Take the ship back. I'll stay until the first resupply mission.
Isn't that an audio interface? Alright, clearly this one's gonna remember.
He's hiding something. Like what? I only know that something's not right. We don't know them. We don't even know ourselves. They're helping us. What are you suggesting? They only have
revolt
soldiers. We outnumber them 10 to 1. They have some sort of ship. It's how we got here. If we have hostages...
What if they're telling the truth? Even if we somehow survive and get away, all we'll be doing is spreading this disease wherever we go.
If we don't act before that ship leaves, we'll be stranded on this rock forever.
Michael's right, Lathan. It's too risky.
Slowly but surely.
As commander of the Daedalus, I have standing orders to help out around here whenever possible, but I'm not a member of this expedition. And unless otherwise directed by my superiors, I don't have to answer your questions.
The only reason that you're not the military commander of Atlantis is that Dr. Weir insisted that post go to Colonel Shepard. If she were to leave...
That's not why you're here. The IOA doesn't really want militarization. They're just afraid they may have no other choice.
Sounds like you're saying you won't come out against Dr. Weir only because you're not confident of the outcome.
I'm not speaking to you.
You guys head back to the ship.
Colonel, we've got a problem. Lathan's missing. He didn't turn up for his last treatment and nobody's seen him, have they?
No. Lathan's convinced this whole thing is some kind of elaborate lie. I tried to tell him you were doing your best to help us, that maybe the sickness was playing with his mind, but...
Okay, let's get a search party going.
We'd like to help. He is one of us.
Let's go!
Michael!
Lathan! What are you doing out here?
I'm starting to remember. It's just flashes, images in my head. But something's definitely coming back to me.
I'm sorry, but you should have stayed at the camp.
We found him, sir.
What's your location?
We're halfway up the ridge that runs south of the camp.
He's dead, sir.
No, sir. He's dead.
He must have forgot how to walk.
The cause of death is quite obvious. His neck was broken. But there are some tests I can perform that could help with my research.
We've all logged more than a few miles these past few weeks. I'd just like to say that seeing you now, sitting across from me...
You don't have to say it.
We feel the same way you do.
Oh, she feels hungry too?
Feels like the end of the summer camp right now.
Sorry I'm late. My
Everyone's
interviews
giving
are
their
running a little
speeches.
longer than
Richard Woolsey. He is chief liaison to the international committee that oversees the Atlantis expedition. He will be conducting individual interviews with each of you.
Dr. Beckett, this is Lieutenant Morrison. What's your location?
I'm out on the ridge where Lathan's body was found. There isn't enough blood on the ground, which indicates that his heart wasn't pumping when he fell. No, he definitely died when his neck was snapped.
Look, it's gonna be dark soon. You better start back now and we'll talk about it when you get here.
Right.
It would appear from this incident that the lies you're telling these people are beginning to wear a bit thin. Do you seriously hold out much hope for the long-term success of this little science project?
That's not what
So I'm
this
saying
is.
it's not viable, dude. Long
You may
term.
have never set out to...
We did what we had to do in order to survive.
I'm sure it seemed like a good idea at the time.
What do you want me to say? I supported Elizabeth's decision to form an alliance with Michael, and I supported her decision to put all those people...
That support hardly shines through when you hesitate to call them people.
Just out of political curiosity, how much trouble is it going to cause you if I knock this Woolsey guy in the head?
And may I ask why you'd like to do that?
That's just an impulse I had.
What did Woolsey say to you?
Besides judging every damn decision you've ever made?
John Shepard, are you defending my honor? I think of all the circling wolves, he's the least likely to actually bite. In fact, he might even convince the others to leave us alone.
Yeah.
No head knocking.
It's the thought that counts.
This isn't looking good for Beckett. This just turned into an A24 film.
Lieutenant Morrison. This is Dr. Beckett. Come in.
I'm afraid the lieutenant and his men are indisposed. I've regained enough memory to know that you've done this to me not once, but twice.
It's not gonna work, man. You ran it back.
Try to imagine.
Why'd you have to kill Lathan?
He was stirring up trouble, but I knew our only chance was to wait until Colonel Shepard left with the soldiers.
What have we got, Rodney?
Long-range sensors just picked up a hive ship.
Coming this way?
No. On its current course, it's headed straight for the planet where we left Beckett and the prisoners.
It's almost like this turned out to be a bad idea.
I think we have to consider the possibility that we have a leak.
You mean a spy?
Not necessarily in the city itself.
If you believe any Athosians...
Let's not jump to any conclusions here.
Isn't it true that there are humans in this galaxy?
Taylor, whenever
Serve
she
the
hears
Wraith
Athosian
and
slandered.
worship? How hard would it...
If the Wraith had that level of inside information, they'd be on their way to Atlantis. Not some nameless planet with a couple hundred people on it.
We need to focus on getting those people out of there. Because if the Wraith find them and figure out what they are...
We've got a problem. Again. If we leave right now in the hive ship,
We'd be cutting it close.
What are our chances of surviving a ship-to-ship encounter?
Less than slim?
Do what you can on the way.
Alright, they're turning back.
How many have reverted?
Those you saw in the forest, plus a few more. The few of us who began to realize something was wrong got together and formed a plan. Even while on the medication.
You should remember what happened last time you tried to rejoin the Wraith.
It'll be enough to escape this rock.
So what do you need me for? I mean, there must be a reason you're keeping me alive.
I need to know what secondary security measures Colonel Shepard put in place before he left.
There's no way off this planet. That was the failsafe.
How many years of your life will I have to take away before you tell me what I want to know?
You don't tell me this sort of thing. I'm just a doctor. Maybe I shouldn't have been so quick to kill Lieutenant Morrison.
You have a strong sense of empathy toward others.
It's not as strong as it used to be. Believe me.
Let's begin.
Not my boy. The experiments begin.
we have weapons yet.
Sort of.
What does that mean?
Well, we can fire, but not in any particular direction. Look, we're using up a lot of our power reserves to maintain this speed. We're not gonna have a lot left over to fight with.
Going this fast to avoid fighting.
Theoretically.
Atlantis, this is Daedalus. We're ready to go here.
Are you sure you want to do this, Colonel?
I'm sure Colonel Shepard would appreciate the help.
Thank you.
Daedalus out. Set a course.
Yes, sir.
Let's see it.
That's it. We're out of hyperspace.
What is it?
That's weird. A bunch of secondary systems just came online. It's like they just woke up by themselves. It looks like they're all keyed into the sensors. The ship must have detected something and turned them on. Wraith life signs.
From the planet?
How many?
It's 20 or 30.
What about human?
So some of them reverted.
They'll be feeding on each other.
What about Dr. Beckett and Lieutenant Morrison's team?
I have no way to distinguish them from the other human life signs. Taylor, what do you think?
It is possible that a group of them acting together could communicate over much larger distances.
Oh, that's what they were
Live and
chanting.
learn. What about the failsafe device? What kind of kill zone are we looking at?
Everything in a 3-mile radius is toast.
You sure about that?
What about the ones that are still human?
There's nothing we can do for them.
Michael got his memory back. They could all know about Atlantis by now and how to find Earth. We can't take that chance.
Go, 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 go. Certified wallop. Oh, Jesus.
Carson. He's barely conscious.
Rodney, come in.
What's happening?
Got Carson. Morse and his team are dead. We're heading back.
Failsafe detonation in
3,
All right.
2, 1.
The bomb was receiving a detonation signal. If I hadn't deactivated it, we'd all be dead.
What happened?
You mean what didn't happen?
You're telling me the bomb didn't go off?
It got to it.
How you doing with the weapons?
We couldn't hit the side of a barn.
Our ship's 100 times
A
bigger.
giant flying barn.
What about hitting a stationary target?
All motion in space is relative.
Talking about on the planet.
Well, that I might be able to do.
Wait just a minute.
We've had this discussion before, Doc. There's no choice.
All right. Savage Shep is in the
Take
building.
as many as possible.
We have no time.
There's still over 100 men down there that believe that we are
Yo,
their
it doesn't
saviors.
matter.
We're about to become casualties of war.
Has to be done.
Nothing left to do, brother. It is what it is.
Fire.
That conversation took too long.
We're taking multiple hits.
Blanket the entire area. We can't afford a mistake.
Engines are offline. We're venting atmosphere.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Just about reached the planet, sir.
Drop us out of hyperspace. Life signs?
No, sir.
What about the planet?
I'm not getting anything.
Daedalus, this is Shepard. Come in.
Shepard, where the hell are you?
Oh, right. Sorry. You got here in good time, Colonel. We were looking at a long ride home.
Just made it out.
You're still not certain if any of the Wraith on the planet survived.
Not certain, no. But of course it's my fault they were in that position in the first place. If I had just disposed of those prisoners, none of this would have happened.
Quite the contrary, in fact. It was your decision to fire on the camp from orbit that eliminated the threat.
I didn't make that decision.
But you would have.
I might have.
Close enough.
But that's not what happened.
He's throwing a lob.
The IOA doesn't need to know that. In fact, they don't want to know that. And the truth is, you should remain here. In charge of this expedition.
Woolsey's warming up, man.
For the moment.
You know, he's not as much of a jackass. Second time in a row he's done that. Weir is here. The Wraith have been warded off. And we live for another day. And that was my reaction video to Stargate Atlantis, season number 2, episode number 20, and season number 3, episodes number 1 and 2. That was quite the triple-double. That was quite the three-parter for the series here. It had us on the ropes. Are we going to lose, or are the Wraith going to get us? Space battles. And I think this might have been the longest that we've had in the entire series. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Gotta say, I thought this was a solid, three-parter. We had a lot of interest and dynamics here, from Wraith finally potentially pulling up. Turns out this is actually a continuation from the Michael arc. And we dealt with quite a few things. The idea of the retrovirus, I think that's going to be put to bed now after all these mistakes that have happened. Beckett obviously rustling with all of those elements and his involvement with that, right, from an ethical and moral standpoint. To Rodney and Ronan being teamed up there as they were all in the cocoon. I thought they both had some great performances. And all around, I think this was a pretty solid ensemble episode, with everybody sort of just in a dire situation, ready to put their lives on the line, exhausted, having not slept for 30 plus hours throughout these 3 episodes here. And it was like over the time span of a few weeks. I think it's interesting to see not only Atlantis, but SG-1 in Earth. Thought this made for a pretty unique 3-parter in the series. I also really was a fan of Weir in these ones, pushing back on the IOA, pushing back at some of her higher ups, and just not giving a damn. Right? This was wartime. The Wraith were after them. She had to do what she had to do, and she wasn't here for all the bureaucracy. In the end, Woolsey came clutch. She'll live to see another day. In terms of just the score, the soundtrack, thought it was engaging, entertaining. Directing and emphasis this episode was it just felt a little bit more focused, I guess, than the usual one-off episode. Again, because of the 3-part structure. I actually really enjoyed episodes 1 and 2. Third one I didn't enjoy as much. I thought it was a decent conclusion. I think it's just because I'm not a big fan of the whole retrovirus idea. I guess they went full on with that, having them all on this island. That being said, we have Woolsey helping us out here now. I feel like we've had tons of warships just being destroyed recently. I think we needed some time just to recoup, get our defenses together. And if anything, what this 3-parter showed us is just how vulnerable we are amidst the Ori threat, now with the potential of the Wraith getting the upper hand on us. How how ill-equipped we are on Earth and at Atlantis. So I definitely see some big upgrades coming as we're nearing the end of SG-1 and I guess the midway point of SG-A. Anyway, with that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this extra dump of episodes for Stargate Atlantis. I'm excited to see what this means for Season 3 now. Episode felt different. I can't tell if that's just a new vibe, if that's just a new tone and atmosphere for Season 3, but I think some standouts here were definitely Rodney, definitely Elizabeth. Michael was actually particularly great this episode. I think the Wraith will be put to bed for a little bit. I think we're going to deal with some more off-world shenanigans after all that went down this episode here. I gotta give a hand to Stephen Caldwell. I thought he was awesome this episode, holding it down, accepting the potential fate if things didn't go the way they did. What did you guys think about these ones? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments section down below. I think between the last set of SG episodes and this set of SG episodes, I might be pooped out for SG for the week. I hope you enjoyed these, and I will see you all in the next set of episodes. Love you guys. Peace.